Clothes are our initial and most basic tool of communication. How we dress tells a lot about our social and economic status. They reflect our occupation, our culture, and our ambitions. Clothes can empower us. They can make us feel powerful, sensual, pretty. The way we dress says a lot about us.
The fashion industry is a really big industry with billion-word companies that employ millions of people around the world. And the most successful companies will always be those who keep up what is trendy, while producing at the lowest price possible. Because let's face it, it is better for the industry to offer us cheap clothing so that we can afford keep buying it. Fast fashion, they call it. We want to be able to buy what's new when we don't have anything else to do because we feel lonely, insecure, heartbroken. Shopping makes us feel better. We shop because it is easy to do so, and we don't want to let pass the discounts and promotions. Every holiday season, we know that things are cheaper and are ready to run to the store or to press the buy button in the computers. We already have Black Friday market in our calendars. And who cares about the people who make clothing? As long as it's cheap, we will buy it, even if we don't really like it.
Really? Is that the world that we want to live in? 1 in 6 people living on Earth work in the garment industry, and fewer than 2% of them earn a living wage. The wages of people working in the garment industry can be as low as $1 per day. 80% of all garment workers are women. With rock bottom wages and unconscionably long hours, sweatshops have become the cheapest way to produce clothing, especially in Bangladesh. Brands often claim that they had no idea that their approved contractors were subcontracting to sweatshops. The workers of sweatshops in Bangladesh reported to their superiors that the building had no cracks, but they were told to continue working, to continue making clothes. And then the next day, on April 24th in 2013, the building collapsed and a lot of people died, 1,134, and 2,500 people were injured, badly injured. This is considered the deadliest accident in garment factory in modern history. It was the collapse of the Rana Plaza building in Bangladesh. It is hard to change the rules and the laws because in 2018, 10% of all of the Bangladeshi parliament owned garment factories, and 30% of them had family that owned factories. 5 years later of the Rana Plaza collapse, the tragedy continues, and it continues to be a big revenue for the country. On November 24th in 2012, another factory had a problem. The Tazreen fashion factory, also in Bangladesh, burned down during labor hours, and 112 people were burned alive. Why? Because their superiors had locked the doors. They didn't want anybody to steal anything while they were fleeing from the fire. So everything and everybody burned. This is outrageous. How can these things right now still be happening? The global fashion industry employs over 80 million people around the world. Many of these are desperately trying to earn something to eat and to find a way out of extreme poverty.
And if that is the industry that gives them at least more than nothing, they will continue working there. But do you know what? The owners' companies that made their clothing in Rana Plaza are listed in the richest person in the world list: Zara, Walmart, H&M, between others. But still, many of the people who survived got injuries that prevent them to continue working. Now they are poor and can't work anymore.
And to date, there are still manifestations in Bangladesh to get help, but nobody is really helping them. If the world doesn't care, if we don't care, then the voices of these workers will never be heard.
Here is where the term ethical fashions enters in play. Ethical fashion takes into account the numerous workers that work behind the scenes to make the clothing industry possible, from the farmers that grow the fabrics to the garment workers stitching pieces together.
Let's buy with purpose. Let's vote for dignified living conditions with our wallets and where our values, what we buy, really matters.